Hello everyone. My name is Emily and I want to tell you a story about betrayal, family, and the moment I finally stood up for myself. This is a story about my brother, his wife, and the day they learned that kindness should never be taken for granted. I am 32 years old. I have a younger brother named Michael. He is 28 years old. Growing up, Michael and I were very close. We only had each other because our parents died in a car accident when I was 20 and he was 16. I became his guardian. I raised him. I took care of him. I gave up my dreams to make sure he had everything he needed. After our parents died, I was supposed to go to graduate school. I had been accepted to a great program. But I couldn't go. Michael needed me. He was still in high school. Someone had to take care of him. So I stayed home. I got a job at a bank. The pay was decent. I worked hard. I made sure Michael finished high school. I paid for his college tuition. I bought his books. I paid for his apartment near campus. I did everything a parent would do. Michael was smart and talented. He studied business at university. He did very well. I was so proud of him. Every sacrifice I made felt worth it when I saw him succeed. After Michael graduated from university 3 years ago, he got a good job at a tech company. He moved to the city. He started earning good money. He was building his career. I was happy for him. My hard work had paid off. He was independent now. He was successful. 6 months after he started his new job, he met a woman named Jessica. Jessica worked at the same company. Michael fell in love with her very quickly. Within 2 months, he told me he wanted to marry her. I was surprised. It seemed very fast. But Michael was happy, so I was happy for him. I wanted to meet Jessica. I wanted to get to know my future sister-in-law. Michael invited me to dinner to meet Jessica for the first time. I drove 2 hours to the city. I was excited. I brought a gift for Jessica. Some nice chocolates and flowers. When I arrived at the restaurant, Michael was already there with Jessica. Jessica was beautiful. She wore expensive clothes and jewelry. She looked confident. I smiled and walked to their table. "Jessica, this is my sister Emily," Michael said. I reached out to shake her hand. Jessica looked at my hand for a moment before shaking it briefly. Her handshake was cold and weak. "Hello," she said without smiling. I gave her the flowers and chocolates. "Nice to meet you. I'm so happy for you and Michael," I said. She took the gifts and put them on the empty chair without looking at them. "Thanks," she said flatly. During dinner, I tried to talk to Jessica. I asked her about her job, her family, her interests. She gave short answers. She seemed bored talking to me. She kept looking at her phone. She whispered things to Michael and they laughed together. I felt like an outsider. I felt uncomfortable. After dinner, I drove home feeling confused. Jessica didn't seem very friendly. But maybe she was just shy or nervous. I decided to give her another chance. Over the next few months, Michael and Jessica got more serious. They moved in together. Michael called me less and less. When I called him, he was always busy. Jessica was always there in the background. I could hear her voice. Sometimes Michael would say he had to go because Jessica needed him for something. Then one day, Michael called me with exciting news. He and Jessica were getting married. The wedding would be in 3 months. I was so happy for him. "That's wonderful, Michael. I'm so excited. When can we talk about the wedding plans?" I asked. Michael was quiet for a moment. "Well, Jessica is handling all the planning. She has very specific ideas. She'll let you know the details soon." I thought that was a bit strange. But I didn't worry. I waited for Jessica to contact me about the wedding. Days passed. Then weeks passed. I didn't hear anything. I called Michael several times but he didn't answer. I left messages. No response. I sent text messages. Nothing. Finally, after 5 weeks, I got a text message from Michael. It was short. "Emily, Jessica and I have decided to keep the wedding very small and intimate. It's going to be just close friends and Jessica's family. We hope you understand. I read the message 3 times. I couldn't believe it. I wasn't invited to my own brother's wedding. The brother I raised. The brother I sacrificed everything for. I called Michael immediately. He answered this time. Michael, what is this message? I'm not invited to your wedding. Michael sighed. Emily, it's complicated. Jessica wants a small wedding. We can't invite everyone. I felt tears in my eyes. I'm not everyone. I'm your sister. I'm the only family you have. I raised you after Mom and Dad died. How can you not invite me? Michael was quiet. Then I heard Jessica's voice in the background. Is that her? Let me talk to her. Michael said, Jessica wants to talk to you. Then Jessica's voice came on the phone. Listen, Emily. This is my wedding. My special day. I get to decide who comes. And honestly, you're kind of pathetic. You're just a bank worker with no real life. You dress badly. You're not sophisticated. You don't fit with our friends and my family. You would embarrass us. So no, you're not invited. You don't belong there. I couldn't speak. The words hit me like punches. Pathetic. Embarrassing. I couldn't belong at my own brother's wedding. Michael. I said, hoping he would defend me. Michael, are you hearing this? Michael came back on the phone. Emily, please don't make this difficult. Just respect our decision. We'll visit you after the honeymoon. Then he hung up. I sat on my sofa in shock. I cried for hours. How could Michael let Jessica talk to me like that? How could he choose her over me? After everything I did for him? I couldn't sleep that night. I kept thinking about all the sacrifices I made. I gave up graduate school for him. I worked extra hours to pay his tuition. I bought his textbooks when he needed them. I co-signed his first apartment lease when he had no credit history. I gave him money when he needed a new laptop for school. I paid for his graduation suit. I helped him move to the city. I even lent him $5,000 last year when he said he needed it for something important. He never paid me back. And now he was cutting me out of his life because his fiancée thought I was pathetic. The next morning, I made a decision. If they didn't want me in their lives, then I would remove myself completely. But I would also take back everything I had given them. I started making phone calls. First, I called Michael's landlord. You see, when Michael moved to the city 3 years ago, he couldn't afford the security deposit and first month's rent for his apartment. I paid it for him. $5,000. The apartment lease was in both our names because he needed my credit score to qualify. I told the landlord I wanted to be removed from the lease and I wanted my security deposit back. The landlord checked the records. He said that was fine. He would send Michael a notice that he needed to pay a new security deposit or move out in 30 days. Next, I called the car dealership. 2 years ago, I co-signed Michael's car loan. He wanted a nice new car for his job. He couldn't get approved a loan, so I put my name on the loan. I had been making half the payments to help him. I called the dealership and told them I would no longer be making payments. I also contacted the loan company and explained the situation. They said if Michael missed any payments, they would repossess the car. Then I looked at my bank accounts. Over the past 10 years, I had given Michael so much money. Money for school, for living expenses, for emergencies, for things he wanted. I calculated everything. It was over $80,000. I had spreadsheets and receipts for most of it. I contacted a lawyer. I asked if I could legally request repayment. The lawyer said yes, especially for the documented loans. He helped me write a formal letter to Michael demanding repayment of all loans within 60 days. I also remembered something else. 3 years ago, I helped Michael start investing. I opened a joint investment account with him and put in $15,000 to help him start building wealth. The account was in both our names. I contacted the investment company. I withdrew all the money from the joint account. It had grown to $22,000. Half of the growth was technically his, but since I had put in all the initial money and the account was joint, I could legally take it all. I transferred it to my personal account. Then I remembered the wedding gift I had already bought. Last month, before I knew I wasn't invited, I had purchased an expensive gift for them. A complete set of luxury cookware worth $1,200. I returned it and got my money back. Finally, I sent Michael one text message. Since I'm too pathetic to attend your wedding and don't belong in your life, I'm removing myself completely. You'll be receiving several notices this week. The apartment lease ends in 30 days unless you pay a new deposit. The car payments are now completely your responsibility. You have 60 days to repay the $80,000 you owe me, or I'll take legal action. I've also withdrawn my money from our joint investment account. I gave you everything for 10 years. Now you're on your own. Good luck with your marriage. Don't contact me again. I pressed send and blocked his number. 3 days later, Michael started calling me from different phones. I didn't answer. He sent emails. I deleted them without reading. He even came to my house one evening. I didn't open the door. He stood outside shouting, "Emily, please, we need to talk. This is crazy." I closed the curtains and turned on music so I couldn't hear him. After an hour, he left. The next day, I received an email from Jessica. The subject line said, "You're ruining everything." I almost deleted it, but curiosity made me open it. The email said, "Emily, you're being completely unreasonable and vindictive. Michael is stressed and upset. You're ruining our wedding preparation time. We can't afford to pay you back right now. We can't afford a new security deposit. We need that car for work. You're being selfish and petty. Just because you're not invited to one event doesn't mean you should destroy your brother's life. Grow up and stop being so emotional." I read the email and laughed. I actually laughed out loud. She called me selfish. She called me petty. I wrote back, "Dear Jessica, you called me pathetic. You said I don't belong in your life. You said I would embarrass you. So I'm simply honoring your wishes. I don't belong, so I'm leaving completely. Everything I gave Michael was out of love and family obligation. Since I'm no longer considered family, those gifts and loans need to be returned. You wanted me out of your life. Congratulations, you got your wish. Enjoy your small, intimate wedding. P.S. The legal deadline is still 60 days. Emily." I pressed send and blocked her email too. 2 weeks later, I heard from a mutual friend that Michael and Jessica had to move to a cheaper apartment because they couldn't afford the security deposit for the nice one. Michael's car got repossessed because he missed 2 payments. They had to postpone their wedding by 6 months because they couldn't afford it anymore. Jessica's parents had to lend them money. The mutual friend said Jessica was furious and blamed everything on me. She was telling everyone I was a terrible sister who abandoned my brother out of jealousy. I didn't care what she said. People who really knew me understood the truth. The wedding eventually happened 8 months later. It was much smaller than they originally planned. I saw photos on social media before I blocked everyone. It looked nice, but simple. Nothing like the luxury wedding Jessica had been planning. I didn't feel sad looking at the photos. I felt free. 3 months after their wedding, I got a letter in the mail. It was from Michael. A real paper letter. I almost threw it away, but something made me open it. The letter said, "Dear Emily, I know you probably won't read this, but I need to try. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. You were right about everything. Jessica has changed. Or maybe she was always like this and I didn't want to see it. She's controlling. She's materialistic. She doesn't care about family. She isolated me from you, the only real family I have. I was stupid. I let her convince me that you were jealous of our relationship. I let her talk about you that way. I didn't defend you. I chose her over you, and it was the worst mistake of my life." The letter continued, "Our marriage is already struggling. We fight about money constantly. She blames me for not having enough. She compares me to her friends' husbands. She says I'm a disappointment. I think about everything you did for me. How you raised me. How you sacrificed your dreams for mine. How you loved me unconditionally. And I threw it all away for someone who only loved me when I could give her the lifestyle she wanted. I don't expect you to forgive me. I don't deserve it. But I needed you to know that I'm sorry. I love you. You're the best sister anyone could have, and I ruined everything. I'm sorry, Emily. Michael. I read the letter twice. I cried a little. Not because I wanted to forgive him, but because I felt sad for the little boy I raised. That sweet little boy had become a man who made terrible choices. But those were his choices. His consequences. I didn't write back. I put the letter in a drawer and tried to move on with my life. 6 more months passed. Then one evening, someone knocked on my door. I looked through the window. It was Michael. He was alone. He looked thin and tired. I thought about not opening the door. But something in his face made me open it. "Hello, Michael," I said calmly. He started crying immediately. "Emily, I left her. I left Jessica. The marriage is over. We're getting divorced. You were right about everything. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry." I stood in the doorway looking at him. Part of me wanted to hug him. Part of me wanted to slam the door in his face. "What do you want from me, Michael?" I asked. He wiped his tears. "Nothing. I don't want anything. I just wanted to tell you in person. I wanted to say I'm sorry. I wanted to tell you that you're the most important person in my life and I should have never let anyone make you feel otherwise. I know I can't fix this. I know you probably hate me. But I needed you to know." We stood there in silence for a moment. Then I said, "I don't hate you, Michael. You're my brother. I raised you. I love you. But you hurt me deeply. You let someone insult me and cut me out of your life. You chose a woman who thought I was pathetic over the sister who gave up everything for you. That pain doesn't go away just because you're sorry." Michael nodded. "I know. I understand. I just wanted you to know that I'm going to pay you back. Every dollar. It might take me years, but I will pay you back. And I'm going to work on myself. I'm in therapy now. I'm learning why I made such bad choices. I'm learning how to be better." I looked at him carefully. He seemed sincere. He seemed broken. But he also seemed like he was finally growing up. "Okay," I said. "I appreciate that. But I need time, Michael. I need a lot of time before I can trust you again." He nodded. "I understand. Take all the time you need. I'll be here when you're ready. If you're ever ready." He turned to leave, then stopped. "Emily, thank you. Thank you for everything you did for me, even though I didn't deserve it. You're an amazing person. I hope someday I can be half as good as you." Then he walked away. That was 6 months ago. Michael sends me a payment of $500 every month now. He's paying back the debt slowly but consistently. He sends me a short email with each payment, nothing demanding, just updates on his life. He got a new apartment. He's working 2 jobs to pay his debts. He's still in therapy. He's learning and growing. I read his emails but I don't respond. I'm not ready yet. Maybe someday I will be. Maybe someday we can rebuild our relationship. But right now, I'm focused on myself. I'm finally living my life for me. I went back to school last month. I'm studying for my graduate degree, the one I postponed 10 years ago. I'm pursuing my dreams now. I'm dating someone kind and respectful. I'm building friendships. I'm happy. I learned important lessons from this experience. I learned that you cannot sacrifice yourself completely for other people, even family. I learned that love must be reciprocal and respectful. I learned that being kind doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. I learned that it's okay to take back what you gave if people don't appreciate it. I learned that family isn't just about blood, it's about respect and love. And most importantly, I learned that I deserve better. I deserve to be valued. I deserve to be respected. I am not pathetic. I am strong. I am worthy. I am enough. If someone makes you feel small, if someone doesn't appreciate your sacrifices, if someone cuts you out of their life, let them go. Take back your power. Take back your self-respect. Take back your life. You deserve better. Thank you for listening to my story.